Girl Maria, and we are back with more reactions. Yesterday I didn't get to post anything. I was having technical difficulties and it was complete user error. This was not a YouTube thing, this was a Maria thing. I am not technology savvy. The fact that I do this, miracle. Just saying. Said it on the last 3 videos that I posted today. So just letting you know, it took me forever to figure out what was wrong. Then I finally figured out what was wrong. And then this morning I got my new little setup here, so I have more room to do stuff. And yeah, so I am looking forward to doing our reactions now. Now that I have this figured out and what it is, I must have pressed something and didn't realize it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what it was. But anyway, I have another Sabaton song, 1916. You guys have been blowing up the comments with this song. I'm going to react to it. I really like this band. I feel like their songs are very meaningful. They sing about different wars, and Christmas Truce was definitely an interesting one for me. And I really felt like that would have been probably the hardest moment in their lives, to be able to have a truce, come together as a group, and then the next day they got to fire at each other. It's not easy. That's not an easy thing to do. So we're going to look at 1916, which I am, of course, assuming is another war-inspired song, right? And I really appreciate their lyrics, and I really appreciate the musicality. I really appreciate the somberness that they put, and also the hope that they put into the songs. It sounds really weird that you would have somber and hope in one song, but at the end of the day, you do. It's like we wish for these type of moments to happen that are good and that are like Christmas Truce. When you saw everybody coming together, you really were looking around and saying, why are we even fighting? Like, why fight about these things? And it gives you this sense of hope. And then at the same time, it's very sombering knowing that this really happened and they really had to go back to war with each other. So I'm looking forward to this. You guys already know, if you want to show your love and support to the group and or to myself, because you know you want to, it's in the description box below. I link ways for you to do that. So at the very least, check out the artists, help them grow their channel. And, you know, let's get started. I'm ready. You ready? Because I am. Let's go.
Years old when I went to the war to fight for a land fit for heroes. God on my side and a gun in my hand, chasing my days down to 0. And I marched and I fought and I bled and I died, and I never did get any older. But I knew at the time that a year in the line was a long enough life for a soldier.
Could you imagine having that kind of mentality? Like, that is what you are mentally preparing yourself. If you survive a year as a soldier, that's a long life. I can't even imagine. I mean, I have a lot of respect for our men and women in uniform, and I will tell you what, if that's the mentality you have going into war, I understand that for those who make it back, why there is survivor's guilt, why there is PTSD, because you've mentally prepared yourself for the worst and then you made it back home. Man, I mean, their lyrics really make you think about things that I don't think I would have ever thought about otherwise. And I know that they have a history channel. I am not opposed to reviewing those videos from them. So if you guys have something in particular you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comments. Email it to me. If you want to show love and support to request that, you can. Anything you want to do with that. I definitely don't have an issue with that. I find this to be so fascinating and so thoughtfully done.
We all volunteered and we wrote down our names and we added 2 years to our ages. Eager for life and ahead of the game, ready for history's pages. And we brawled and we fought and we fought till we stood 10,000 shoulder to shoulder. Our thirst for the run, we were food for the gun, and that's what you are when you're soldiers. I heard my friend cry, and he sank to his knees, coughing blood as he screamed for his mother. And I fell by his side, and that's how we died, clinging like kids to each other. And I lay in the mud, and the guts and the blood, and I wept as his body grew colder. And I called for my mother, and she never came, though it wasn't my fault, and I wasn't to blame. And the day's not half over, the 10,000 slain, and now there's nobody remembers our name.
Sorry, I need a moment. You go to war, you fight, you die, and no one remembers your name. The wars are pointless. I've said it before in the past. When I was younger, I wanted to join the military, and I wasn't able to. And I have a lot of respect for our military. But this is the sorrow of that decision. These are very real things that happen. And for no one to remember your name. I'm glad that they're doing these songs to pay tribute to all of those people. Because even if you can't name them out one by one, is to remind people that it happened and people died and those people existed.
Then that's how it is
July 1st, 1916, British volunteers with no battlefield experience ran into a hailstorm of machine gun fire at the Battle of the, is it Somme? Somme or Somme? They were friends, neighbors, relatives, and workmates from mostly northern communities enlisted with the promise to be able to fight alongside one another. The British Army suffered 57,470 casualties to gain just 3 miles of territory. One man was killed every 4.4 seconds, in the largest loss of life suffered by the Army in a single day. "19,000 Englishmen were killed before noon, a whole generation destroyed in 3 hours. Entire towns in northern Lancashire, hope I'm saying that right, and South Yorkshire had a whole generation of men completely wiped out." A whole generation of men, my goodness. By the end of the battle, casualties from both sides topped 1 million, with more than 300,000 killed for 6 miles of ground. That many people died for 6 miles. I can drive from here to the grocery store in 6 miles. Less than a 10-minute drive. Those credits are well deserved. Entire generations of men wiped out for 6 miles of land. And it's the leaders of our countries that make these decisions to go to war, and you put generations of men's life on the line, and you call it a casualty instead of a human being. I understand that sometimes there's a saying, it says, if you want peace, you must prepare for battle. And I get that. But 6 miles of land? That was a death sentence. That's going to do it for this one. If you guys like the content, you know what to do. Hope you consider doing it. Live your lives fabulously. And I will see you on the next one.